Welcome to Combat Extended. What is going on, everybody? Moridagnir here, back with some more modded Mondays. Let's turn down the game speed. That looked awful. So, we have Combat Extended. The next one in next week will be Dub's Bad Hygiene. And then if you have any others, please comment and I will check out the mod. So for Combat Extended, to summarize this mod, it is a more realistic combat in Rimworld, as if in base game, you will tank millions of damage to the head or the torso and be fine. Whereas in this, a shot to the torso has a higher chance of hitting a major artery, or hitting someone in the head has a chance to instantly kill. Or most likely, if it does hit them in the head, especially with a bullet, will instantly kill. As you can see, we have these people all dying, even though they have extremely... That guy has some serious bionics, Jesus. But yes, here you go, as you just saw then. His head has been shot off by a NATO bullet from the machine gun. So before we start into the major part of this mod, I am going to cover a few of the hidden assets behind this mod. So first, of course, you have the higher chance of death within combat, especially if you have not got the correct armor type within the game. So, for example, we shoot someone in the head, it will kill them if it actually hits them, or more than likely, very, very likely to hit them, as it will destroy the head, shoot them in the brain, and so forth. And as you may have guessed, if you get shot in a brain, then you're not very a happy person. So, the complete rework of the entire damage system is in this mod. It makes it much more realistic, and that is the major fundamental of this mod, to make combat more realistic. It also adds new weaponry and other things, but of course the whole idea of this is to increase the realism of the game. The next thing to talk about this mod is it has crouch mechanics. So for example, let's get Moridagnir over here. So if we actually have him standing still, he is technically classed as crouched. Now this means that he's harder to hit and cover is more detrimental to this mod, and there is so many other things in this mod. So if we go over to our bio, as you can see, we're on ridiculous amounts of shooting and everything, so we are basically an insanity shot. However, that being said, the way that this works is we have critical hits in this game. So, well, in this mod, sorry. We have the ability for animals to knock us down. Now, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get that to happen. That's going to be quite interesting. Let's see. Let's get Rita or Richter to go and melee it. Maybe if we find a panther. Let's try panther. Timberwolf. Okay, so let's go and get Rika over here to attack the Timberwolf. Right, she is almost at the Timberwolf. Let's see. If we hit it, it's going to attack us. There we go. So let's just try and go and leave. Is it going to critically hit us? There you go, knocked down. That is technically classed as a critical hit for our good Richter, or Rika. So she is pretty much dead now. So that's a critical hit with an animal. The other critical hits that can occur is if we get a blunt weapon. Okay, we have Moridagnir with a blunt weapon. He is incredibly efficient with this. So let's see. Oh, let's try again. Oh, okay. Let's just go and get Test Dummy revived. So let's revive her. If you didn't know about combat, about character editor, you can revive colonists. So let's give her a Warhammer. So I'll do this off camera. Right, so she now has a Warhammer. Let's just ramp up her melee up to, say, 14. Let's see if she can get a stun off without instantly killing it. Okay, here we go. There you go. As you can see, a blunt weapon now does stun. So that is incredibly powerful if you, say, had a load of frontline in heavy armor, as well as a load of backline shooting. You do need to be wary of it, however. These need to be in super heavy armor, because the trajectory of bullets is now based on where it goes. So if I was to shoot from here, let's just try and see if we can showcase this. Let's bring Moridagnir with the... Oh, she killed it. We'll try again in a second. Alright, let's just resurrect this Muffalo and go back to our test dummy. So, we put the test dummy here, and we'll put Moridagnir here. And we'll try and get her, hopefully not to kill it instantly. But if we stand in front, possibly... Mori, why are you helping? You go over here. Go away. Ah. Right, let's keep them like this. Right, so here we go. Let's try and attack this, and then let's hopefully get Mori to shoot it this time. Hello? Mori. Bro, shoot the damn target, man. Are you just avoiding shooting because you've not got access? What about if you shoot her? Okay, I think that there was an issue with he's now so intelligent. I think they may have patched it, but you could actually, from far away, hit the colonist accidentally, but I think it has changed, although I'm not sure. So just be wary of people being in front of your shooters, because say if there is a line of fire and then they move into that line of fire, they will end up killing themselves. That has happened to me on a fair few saves. So the next thing is riposte. So if I try and attack Mori from here, should be able to riposte. He shouldn't take any damage because he's consistent. See, either dodges or riposte. There you go. So the higher your melee skill, the higher the chance of the riposte. Obviously, we have insanely maxed out stats here just for setting up scenarios and other things. This is what I use him for. However, riposte and dodge are part of the skill. So the higher the chance of the skill, and also the skill of the others. So, for example, this trade is impossible, right? If I was to hit the test dummy, let's just revive her again, there is no chance that she will actually be able to riposte. Let's give her a Warhammer again, just for a fair fight, and then bang, she cannot riposte it whatsoever. So, for example, if you have a 14 melee and you go against a level 20 melee, it's going to be difficult to riposte, but not impossible. But if you have a 2 melee against 20 melee, there is very, very little chance that you're going to be able to riposte or parry whatsoever. Okay, so moving on to armor in terms of the rework. So what it has done is instead of having, say, just a standard reduction of damage, a percentage-based reduction, this actually has 3 different levels of reduction: sharp, blunt, and heat. So this obviously is what it says on the tin. If you are being shot via a penetrative round, then you will be needing sharp protection, which cataphract armor, this is also via bullets. So this is what bullets will end up. As you can see, if you want to read it, mitigations effects on sharp attacks such as bullets, knife stabs, and animal bites. So if you are in a combat with a rifle and you are wearing just synthread armor, you will have a severe problem of evading the bullet and it will cause massive damage, therefore making earlier raids a lot more deadly. However, later game raids, you can just bounce off it. They will have to have EMPs and stuns to actually do this. So then we have this, which is mitigating mace swings, explosions, and animal hooves. And this is, of course, incendiary and also cold attacks. So there is the overall aspect of having the armor. The armor has been completely reworked in order to produce, again, another more realistic experience inside of the game. The next thing that we have inside of Combat Extended is shields. Now, shields are a bit of both worlds. They are insanely great, but also massive disadvantages can occur. So unless you of course have an insanely high skill rate like this character, the shield in fact reduces the accuracy of that who wields it. So it will restrict you from using two-handed weapons, and it also makes it difficult for gunfire. However, it does protect against specific types of gunfire. So rifles and other things, if you don't have the ability to create things like cataphract, prestige, or scout armor, this is a good alternative, especially for your frontline characters. And if we go into here and then go into Combat Extended and then type in shields, we have a few different shields. So there's not that many, but there is still quite a few to play with, as well as equip other items on your characters. There is also exoframes and everything else that can help as this gets to the next mechanic. The mechanic that has been added into Combat Extended also is something known as mass and bulk. So mass, I'm pretty sure, was already in the it was either bulk or mass. I'm pretty sure one of these was in. However, this adds a secondary basis of this to allow a certain character to only have a limited amount of mass and a limited amount of bulk. Of course, you will have to take part for having ammo in your inventory. For example, Mori has a mass of this, which is why he has the powered exoframe, which again is added by Combat Extended, as in order to carry a minigun, as well as carry some ammo for that minigun, he needs extra bulk, which this uses bulk, this uses bulk, and everything in this inventory uses bulk. You can also increase your capacity, or I think it might actually be mass, my bad. So as you can see, there's a heavy amount of mass it needs, and this also has mass. Of course, they all have both. You need to be able to hold both the weapon and the ammunition, and also the armor that you're choosing to wear. There is different aspects of being able to create higher bulk levels, such as a backpack will increase it by a very small amount, but the bulk capacity will actually go up, and also the mass. The mass is powered exoframes will be the one that increases that stat. And then you can create a super soldier like you can see here. He's not incredibly well protected, as you can see, is not anywhere near as protected as the other one, but he does have a minigun, so he will be more of a backline beamer. Right, so let's discuss about medical. Now, inside of here, as you can see, this one is dying. Now, hands have been bitten off and toes have been bitten off, and also there's a massive amount of blood loss. The way that the Combat Extended works is if parts are missing, they will bleed a hell of a lot faster. So let's just heal her. Let's just heal this lady. And then let's just remove a body part. So here you go. We're going to remove the stomach. Is she actually going to be okay? Here I was proved wrong. So basically, if, say, this was actually destroyed in its own right without actually... Let's see if we can get anything proper. Left leg, nope. Let's just try and hurt again. Spine, nope. Let's try and hurt again. I'm just going to keep hurting. No. Okay. So I cannot seem to get this. I'm going to try one more time, but just take my word for it on this. I cannot actually show you, but the organs bleed faster. So if you say got shot in the liver, got shot in the lung, and so forth, it will be a hell of a lot more difficult to heal, as they are drastically increased in terms of how fast they bleed out. On top of that, we can also talk about more medical here, which there is now a new aspect, something known as stabilize. However, you do need medicine in your inventory, so let's just give him some meds. Right, so he can now go over and stabilize. So let's just show you what this does. He will be instant, but what he does is he will stabilize the wound, meaning that he will no longer bleed out and you will be able to rescue him now. It's not actually tended, but it is ready to be tended, and it's a major way of preventing complete destruction of your colony. Okay, so now we get to the fun part of the mod, which obviously all of the other things are quite interesting, but this is where the fun begins. We have different levels of auto turrets, including manned auto turrets, so we can actually man the machine gun or the M24OB. These two are manned turrets, so they would actually sit on it. You have barbed wire on top of that, which causes cuts. Oh no, it's a cheap defense that slows them down, but do we have that? No, I think that's a different mod, so let's not talk about the other one. But these have some insane different levels of tech that you can have. There are also more mods. It isn't wholly designed to add new weaponry. There is other mods that I may cover in the future. Again, if you know or think of any other mods that you want me to cover, I will cover them on Modded Mondays, whichever one that I feel, and then I will add them all into a list. Currently, we only have another one for next week, which is Dub's Bad Hygiene. But the main factor of this mod, again, of course, it's all to do with realism, is each gun needs its own ammo type. For example, the minigun. Let's go to the minigun. The minigun needs 7.62 51mm NATO round. Now, to create these, you need something known as a loading bench. Now, the loading bench, you need to be able to get all the way up to gunsmithing. Now, the prerequisites are, of course, machining and also a new research, called gunpowder. Gunpowder is, again, part of Combat Extended mod, and it just allows you to make very basic weaponry ammunition, but in order to get to the real ammunition, you need to get to gunsmithing, which is a little bit further down, and then you can make most of the rounds. Not all of them, as there are specific rounds that have been created inside of the mod pack, which they are EMPs, beanbags, slugs, buck, all different types. So some are armor penetrating, some are high powered, some are full metal jacket, some are EMP. Now, of course, these depend on which enemy type you are facing. For example, if we have a mech cluster, it would be best to have one person, not all of them, one person with EMP, or 2 or 3 colonists, as if you have a larger colony, as they will stun but not deal too much damage to the mechanoid, but they will fry their circuits, causing them not to actually be able to attack. Therefore, your other higher powered armor penetrating rounds from your other colonists will be able to destroy them. Or if you have melee frontline, they will be able to destroy them that way. So this is huge. There is so many different things that allow you to go against the mechanoids. Now, mechanoids are one of the harder things to deal with in this game. There is also infestations, which infestations, of course, they are higher armored as well, but you wouldn't be using FMJ. You would be using things like FMJ or armor penetration rounds, as they will mince through the bugs. So overall, this mod, I love this mod. Sometimes I don't use it when I know I'm doing a long series where I want to build up a massive colony, but if I am doing things on most occasions and not using a huge mod pack, as the one downside of using this mod is there is a massive issue occasionally when other mods introduce new weaponry, but they don't actually incorporate combat extended. So one of the things you'll be looking out for is like works with combat extended or something along those lines inside of the description of the mod, which will allow you to actually use this mod alongside it, and they will also have their type of ammo inside of here. Another thing about combat extended as well is mortars become extremely expensive. As you can see, something over here known as Promethium, and then you've also got other higher grade things if we can get them. I'll just unlock all the research just to make life easier. Okay, I was correct. It is this mod. So we can actually attack world tiles if we load this up. However, this needs mortar shells. Now, to make mortar shells, again, these are expensive. You need something called FSX, which FSX is pretty darn difficult to come by. So to make 8 FSX, you need 100 chem fuel. Now, this works well with the mod we're going to cover next time, or you can also make it from wood or other organic material. But as you can see, you need 13 to make high-powered, whatever that is, heavy turret KPV damage. So it's an anti-tank cartridge. You've got 19 to make even more powerful ammo. The mortar shells will actually, let's see, shell. That's not how you spell shell. There we go. So inside of the machining table, you need to make the shells, the mortar shells. Mortar shells can be made as EMP for like quite cheap in comparison. FSX is the heavy mortar shells. And in order to create Promethium, you need to have a growing zone. So let's just put this down. And inside of here, we have something known as blaze bulbs. So blaze bulbs are a crop type that needs a certain amount of skill, which is 6, which isn't that high. And once these have been planted, they will grow to become harvestable and give you Promethium. Now you need to be careful with these because these do need to be in a cooled room, as hitting temperatures over 26, if I'm not mistaken, they will actually explode and set your whole base on fire. So let's just show you us collecting some blaze bulbs. Tell a lie, there is no way for me to cheat this in. Just take my word for it that these give you Promethium. So here you go. There we go. Temperatures above 28 will actually cause it to self-ignite and either explode. Well, it will explode. So these are how you get Promethium, and then how to get FSX is to synthesize chem fuel into FSX, and then you'll have the ability to create flak turret ammo or the 81mm mortar shells, and that is around the end of the mod. Now, I would rate this mod 9.5 out of 10, just because of sometimes it does limit you to weaponry mods. That's the only downside, but to be honest, it is a 10 out of 10 mod. All the other mods should comprehend the fact that if they're making a weapon mod, they should have the ability to have the coexistence of Combat Extended, because Combat Extended is by far an amazing mod. There is a few things I also want to cover before we leave, which is if we go on to Combat Extended, so if we go into Combat Extended, inside of the mod options, Combat Extended, you can turn off different things. So you can, if you like the way that the mod works, but you want to be not crafting ammo, as it is if you are new to Rimworld, it is a little bit difficult to manage both ammo and all the colony and the food and everything. So if you want to just play the mod with the realistic aspect without the ammo, you can turn it off. Anything else you don't like, it can be turned off or on. Extra stats, tools tips, disable shield belts, and so forth. Just have a look inside of the settings, and you'll be able to turn off most things or turn on most things, like merge explosives and so forth. So that is the Combat Extended mod. We are pretty much covered. If there is anything else I have forgotten, then please let people know in the comments, and myself, as I would be happy to understand what I've missed. But that is my best knowledge of the Combat Extended mod. And if you have enjoyed, then please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you've got any other mods that you want me to cover, again, next Monday, we are doing Dubs Hygiene. But after that, I am completely free up for mods. I will either have to think of one myself, or you can comment and I will cover that mod. So like I said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.